Hello everybody, welcome back to another anti-MLM video. I'm Christine, I'm glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about strange product claims and strange behavior in network marketing companies. I have a folder with a couple of things I collected and I thought this is just strange. This is a strange product. That's strange behavior. What does that mean? That is just strange. So this is about strange products and strange behavior. And we will start with one of my favorite strange things. When people claim that coffee is not healthy, we will get started with a Farmasi product, with a Farmasi coffee that is apparently so much better than coffee. Why do people continue to shit on coffee? I mean, not physically, but that's something I don't get. Coffee is a natural product. If you don't add a lot of sugar, if you don't add a lot of sweetener or syrups or milks or this or that or sprinkles, it's a natural product that can give you a caffeine boost. Caffeine might not be for everybody. Other people might prefer tea or matcha, which is also a tea, or some version of energy drink, energizer, but coffee is not a bad product. I love my coffee. If you follow this channel, you know I love my coffee. And I don't react weirdly to coffee, but those claims are always strange because coffee is already a good and natural product, just like tea. But let's take a look why Farmasi coffee is so amazing.
Hi friends, it's been a minute since we made our coffee together. That's because I haven't been drinking this coffee. I have been being ridiculous and buying coffees from the coffee shop like every day. And do you guys realize that's like $6 a day? That's insane. That is actually insane. So we're trying to cut that out again. I'm gonna use the healthy coffee. This is gonna help with appetite suppressant. This is gonna help with energy. This is gonna help with focus.
I'm going to use the healthy coffee. That is going to help with appetite suppressant. How is that healthy?
This is going to help with all of the things that we need out of coffee. Plus it's chicory, so it is a stronger caffeine without a crash, and it has a natural like nutty flavor. Chicory coffee is way better than any other coffee. So if you're wanting, and it's an instant coffee, so you don't have to brew it, you don't have to have this big machine. Really lots of pros. You can get separate packs like this, or you can get it in a bag where you scoop some out of it. I don't want to have to wash dishes, so I'm not getting a spoon. I'm using the instant ones and easy to on the go.
Instant coffee is really the worst of the worst. I like to make an iced coffee in the afternoon. It's my TikTok coffee, ironically, because I'm not even on TikTok. But it's a really nice, strong coffee that is iced and I like it. But other than that, just brew your coffee. I hand brew my coffee in the morning. I don't need a big fancy machine and it doesn't cost me $6. Getting coffee at a coffee shop is pricey, but that is not comparable to what you brew at home. And this looks like an environmentalist terrorist right from the start because she doesn't want to use a spoon. Those little sachets of instant coffee, they're nice if you travel, if you're on the go. I don't know why you would carry instant coffee with you, or if you're in hotels, those are also individually packed. But typically, I think it's nicer if you just brew your coffee. That is from an environmental standpoint. If you drink a coffee every day and every day you throw away that, just get the big bag and use a spoon. It's not that difficult.
Not to mention the health differences between an instant coffee with some creamer versus a coffee from the coffee shop. Do you know how much of it is milk and how much of it is sugar? How much of it is extra caramel sauce and mocha sauce? Because I don't get one of the healthy coffees. I'm not getting no chai.
Yeah, then you cannot compare that. Also, a chai at a coffee shop is not necessarily healthy. Just get a normal coffee with a splash of milk if that's what you want. Or get a cappuccino or a latte macchiato with maybe 1 pump of syrup. It's also not the end of the world, but you cannot compare you brewing that coffee yourself at home, just adding a bit of milk or creamer with a full-blown treat at a coffee shop. Of course they're not comparable. Once again, we're comparing, I always say that in a lot of my videos, we're comparing apples to toilets. You can do that, but it doesn't make sense.
Something matcha latte. No, I'm getting the double chocolate chip, Java chip, Frappuccino. So, health is wealth. And if you're after wealth, you gotta utilize that health. Focus on that health. So here we go.
Maybe she should have also not picked the instant coffee and then stirred it relentlessly. Maybe just adding hot water would have helped, and she could have used a spoon. Because in this case, she's not using a spoon, but she's using a straw and a cup. So she has to do the dishes anyway. Environmental terrorist? When you're at home, just use the big bucket of coffee. Thank you.
Here it is. Very affordable. I think it breaks down to like under $1 a day when you grab this. Yeah, definitely under $1 a day. You get 20 sticks, instant coffee, chicory blend, meal, not meal replacement, but appetite suppressant. So if you struggle with always feeling hungry, especially in the morning time, lunchtime, this is going to be perfect for you, okay? So I'll link it for you. You're welcome.
Since this is a Farmasi Hun, of course she makes a commission if she sells this stupid product. It's a coffee wrapped up in individual sachets, although you can also get it in the big bag. Just get the normal coffee, and it's an appetite suppressant. That sounds absolutely horrible. Just enjoy a coffee. Come on. And this is the product. She's so amateur-like blended. You have the Delish Instant Coffee and Chicory Blend Sticks. That is the product she had for $31. And then you could get the Delish Instant Coffee and Chicory Blend for $24 in the big bag, or NutriPlus coffee with chicory and collagen for $32. So you have, 26 sticks in this baby, and you pay $31 for this. You are a preferred customer, you pay $23. And if you are a distributor, you get the products 50% off, so she pays $15.50. So let's say she spent 50 to 60 cents a day on these products if she really drinks them every day. The description says, oh, these are 20 sticks, so not 26. That's a bad deal. $31 for 20 sticks of coffee, $23.25 if you are a preferred customer, or if you're a distributor, then they would be $15.50. That means that one cup of this coffee, if you're a distributor, is 77 cents. Or 77.5, so 78 or 70 cents per coffee, which is pricey. Now, compared to $5 or $6 if you get a coffee from a coffee shop, doesn't sound that bad, but it's still pricey, and I will show you in a moment why. This is just a regular coffee. It's a vegan-sourced coffee grown in India. It is blended with chicory root to create a delicious instant coffee you'll enjoy with every cup. Excellent source of minerals like magnesium, zinc, vitamin C, and D. Well, you would have to drink a lot of this chicory coffee to get all of those in, or your daily dose of magnesium, zinc, and vitamins in. NutriPlus coffee is also a good source of inulin, a probiotic fiber that supports weight control. Also, once again, you very likely have to consume a good amount of that product, which is not in one sachet of coffee. A slightly woody and nutty flavor that you can enjoy in a hot cup or cooled in your favorite iced coffee drink. The thing is, 77 or 78 cents for this product is ridiculously pricey. I like to get myself a Starbucks coffee or an espresso house coffee every once in a while. I do not pay for these myself, and no, I do not steal them. I do ask family members for gift cards when it's my birthday, for example, and I don't know anything else, or when I trade in payback points. I also typically do that for those coffee shops. So in a way, I don't pay for them, but these are pricey, and I like them. I treat myself with these. I like a strong coffee. I like strong iced coffee in wintertime, or sometimes also a warmer coffee, but I'm currently a fan of iced coffee. I typically take an iced coffee with an extra shot of espresso with a hint of milk and then 1 pump of vanilla syrup. That is currently my favorite, and it's around $5.50. That's what I currently like a lot. And then I go for a walk and I enjoy my life while I walk through the streets or through the parks of Berlin. And that is pricey. I do like my coffee in the morning, and I do make coffee myself. I brew it myself. At some point, I also, when I moved into the home I'm currently in now 3 years ago, I also got an espresso machine because I thought it might be beneficial. It wasn't. I don't think it's great for the environment. The coffee was lukewarm. I didn't really enjoy the coffee. I did try out a couple of different capsules, different kinds of coffee. I wasn't a fan. I thought maybe it would be helpful when I have guests. I don't think so. I don't like the coffee, so I sold the machine again. But if you do those at home, espresso machine, for example, they're very popular, or capsule machines, it's between 40 and 75 cents per capsule, which is also not extremely cheap. But if you brew something at home, it looks like you taking an espresso machine or a coffee machine with capsules. You spend less money than you would on this freaking Farmasi coffee, because those machines are between, or those coffee machine capsule coffees are between 40 and 75 cents per capsule. If you brew your coffee at home, as I do myself, hand brew it every single morning because I like my coffee hot. I want to slurp my drinks. I want to slurp them because they're that hot. That's how I like them. The coffee could be between 10 cents and 50 cents. So depending on the kind of coffee you use, of course, and that is the cheapest way you can do that. I always add milk and I add some sugar, so it's not that pricey. And yes, that is a lot less to make your coffee at home, also in the Farmasi version compared to stores when you go to a coffee shop, but you cannot compare these. And this is a ridiculous product. Why do you advertise the coffee that you sell as the better version, as the healthier version, as the appetite suppressant version? For some people, coffee suppresses appetite. For me, it does the opposite. I'm actually stimulated afterwards and I want breakfast. So I always drink my coffee in the morning and then I have my breakfast. And when I drink an iced coffee in the afternoon, I might have a little cookie here or some sort of treat. I like it that way, but that's okay because I know that coffee is stimulating for me. It is sad to see that in this day and age in 2025, people actually add something that is suppressant, appetite suppressant, to their drinks or to their foods. I hope we had left that behind, but apparently we didn't. And that was the first strange product, a Farmasi coffee that is allegedly better than your regular coffee. And then she continued to compare something that I would consider sweets, treat, like candy in a coffee shop, something that is packed with sugar and whipped cream and milk and syrup. All good. All good if that's what you like. My sister likes these as well. I prefer the ones that actually taste like coffee and not like a blended cake. But you cannot compare those to what you brew at home. I find that very, very odd behavior, very weird products, but this is a Farmasi hun, and of course she profits if she is able to sell those overpriced coffee sticks. Almost $32 if you're a retail customer for Farmasi for 20 of those sticks. Absolutely not. That is ridiculous. And speaking of ridiculous, this is the mushroom powder from Arbonne. It sounds gross to me. First of all, the label is completely crooked. Arbonne, what are you doing? Do you employ child workers and they have to stick it on there and they're not able to do that? The label is off. It's an Arbonne hun, naturally, who posts about her mushroom coffee and another trip to the paint store. She paints her apartment. She does renovation there. That explains the paint store. She adds mushroom powder, daily defense, to her coffee. And she makes a mushroom coffee. Ugh. Now that sounds horrible to me. I'm personally not a fan of mushrooms. I've never really been, and I still to this day am not. My parents forced me when I was a child to go mushroom hunting in the woods in Bavaria when I was a child. I enjoyed climbing through the woods, having a party there, enjoying my life there. But picking up the mushrooms and then chopping them up, drying them and putting them into food afterwards, that was not my favorite part. I also was never good at looking for mushrooms and finding them. I just enjoyed being in the woods in Bavaria. It was really fun. It was summer vacation and autumn vacation, and we got the mushrooms during the autumn vacation. But I never cared for mushroom. Maybe that's one of the issues I have. But a mushroom coffee sounds absolutely disgusting. And this is what the mushroom coffee looks like on Arbonne's website. This is a daily defense powder, mushroom powder daily defense. It's written weirdly. 5 mushroom species supports immune health. So she put it in her coffee. It's a dietary supplement, of course it is. She put it in her coffee, and I guess that's what threw me off. Ugh, that picture. Mushrooms are not for me. Mushrooms support your immune system, helps you to adapt to stress, support cognitive function with only 5 ingredients, good for immune health, well-being, stress management, blah, blah. Even when I go out into Asian restaurants, we have a lot of good restaurants in Berlin. I always pick the ones with less mushrooms. I don't like them. And what does it say here? With a slightly earthy yet neutral taste. Yeah, that's exactly what I would have suspected. This honestly sounds horrible. And then on their website, which is very concerning, it says in bold letters, not intended to prevent, treat, or cure COVID-19. Why does Arbonne, this is me doing a screen recording in 2025, why do they have that on their website? Very likely for a reason. Have they ever advertised it as COVID-19 prevention? Or maybe have their distributors used those claims to push an immune defense mushroom powder? I mean, if companies have those statements on their website, I suspect they do that for a certain reason. Very likely because some salesperson in their company said, yeah, it's good if you want to battle COVID-19. It can prevent, treat, and cure. You can put the powder into a shake, a smoothie bowl, oatmeal, or preferred beverage. Yeah, the least preferred beverage I would put that into is a coffee with an earthy yet neutral taste. I need to close this. Mushroom powder from Arbonne. Used in a coffee so that you can create a mushroom coffee. That is absolutely weird. And then another product claim we have is from an Arbonne distributor who advertises hair growth serum. Let's take a look, because I also found that odd.
I did not want to have to deal with the cost and upkeep of real extensions, so this is what I call my extensions in a bottle. It combines the power of D-biotin, caffeine, and melatonin to keep your hair in the growth phase for longer. It reduces shedding by up to 92%. Within 60 days, you're going to see new growth. And look, no extensions here, just this product.
Extensions in a bottle, and she is advertising Monat's hair serum. This product is also not top of the pops anymore. Their scalp serum and their hair growth serum, the year before, they actually came out with this hair growth serum during their convention. Now this is old news because now they came out with capsules that you're supposed to take internally to help you with your hair growth. That is how quickly Monat moves and how quickly so important products suddenly become old news. And she says that these are the best extensions. She's not willing to put a lot of money into the upkeep of those extensions. I myself never had extensions, but I understand that they're quite pricey. I never felt the need for myself, but I wouldn't be good with the upkeep of that as well. Number one, because I don't care that much about my hair. If you follow this channel, you know me. I don't put a lot of effort into my hair and I don't care that much, so extensions wouldn't be for me, but I understand that they're pricey and you need to go to the hairdresser regularly so that they don't look super ratty. You need to put a lot of effort and time into this. That will get pricey rather quickly, and she says the best extensions will always be the ones you grow out of your own head. This product is clinically backed, third-party tested, and winner of multiple beauty awards for a good reason. I just find this claim so strange that you say these are extensions in the bottle, because they're obviously not. Because if your own hair is at a state where you're happy and comfortable with, you wouldn't need to add extensions for volume, because adding extensions can make your hair look fuller because you have more volume at the top of your head. And then of course also length, because the extensions can be a bit longer than your normal hair, and if the hairdresser blends them well, then it looks like your natural hair. So if you have hair that you're happy with, that has the volume and the length you like, then you wouldn't look at extensions. I find that kind of counterproductive. I've helped hundreds of women go from shedding thin hair and receding hairlines to thicker, fuller, denser, and longer hair because this actually works. I've tried them all. This is a product I buy with my own money because I actually believe in it. Yeah, and because she has to buy it. All the Monat products she shows on her social media are products she herself has to buy. Monat doesn't gift their sales force the products. If they did, they would be out of business rather quickly. In fact, before I partnered with this brand, she didn't partner with this brand. She signed up as a distributor. She paid money to join the sales force, and now she can promote the products, and when she sells them, she gets a commission, and now she can promote the business opportunity, and when she recruits, she gets paid on that as well. In fact, before I ever partnered with this brand, I was a customer for a year. It was only after I saw my own transformation that I decided I didn't want to gatekeep the reason for my results any longer. And also maybe because she joined this company as a salesperson and she's able to benefit if she's able to sell the product. So this is not gatekeeping. This is her selling the products and talking about it on social media. If this can help another woman feel confident, then it is worth sharing about. How to buy. Comment serum for a link or system for the coordinating shampoo and conditioner. You'll get a bigger discount overall and faster results by using as a system. The serum lasts me about 4 months, and shampoo and conditioner are concentrated, so they last me about 6 to 8 months. And this is the IR clinical system with the serum and with the shampoo and with the conditioner. And if you were to buy this in Germany, for example, where Monat is unfortunately also live, you would pay 219 euros for a system that might last you 4, 5, up to 8 months. That might be less than somebody who gets extensions. But then again, those things also don't really match up. Or if you're a VIP for $186, but that is still pricey. Consider that you pay for those products maybe every 6 months. Then you've spent around $400 in a year just on a hair growth serum, on a shampoo, and on a conditioner. You could also get the serum individually, then it would be $96. Or $82 if you're a VIP, and then you could get the other products as well. So her product claim is very strange to me, and that's why it's in a video about strange product claims, but also it's a pricey product. You cannot compare a hair serum that might help to promote hair growth with hair extensions. I mean, sorry, you simply cannot. And this is a pricey endeavor as well. Monat is pricey. I mean, that's just what it is. And then the last post is from an Arbonne dude who was in Beachbody Body before. And when the company turned affiliate, I think he changed his career route and he went to Arbonne, as a lot of people did. He is known for working out a lot and running around half naked. Because he works out a lot, because he works on his physique, his abs. He wants to show this off, I bet. He wants to show that he takes care of his body and that he trains regularly. There's nothing wrong with that. But he makes a lot of claims considering Arbonne. And if you think about it, if you were in Beachbody before and you were really interested in all of these workouts and in Beachbody supplements, and that helped you to create a lifestyle that is very active, you work out regularly, and now you assign all of your physical progress and attributes to Arbonne, then that is strange. But he made a really strange post. And we're going to take a look at it. The audio is not the best because he's somewhere in downtown and he doesn't have a microphone, but I hope you can understand it. I will do my best to make him as audible as possible in editing. But let's take a look at this strange behavior.
7 years ago, we're in the Boston financial district. I used to work in this building. Check it out. And I used to have to wear a suit and tie, or at least business casual, to the office. I worked in finance. Now, I'm a shirtless girl dad and a lifestyle entrepreneur.
Is it just me or is it strange? I was in Boston before. I loved Boston. Boston is one of my favorite US cities. He worked in a corporate job before in downtown Boston, and he had to wear a suit and a tie. And now he's a shirtless entrepreneur and a girl dad, although he also has a son now. So you're not a girl dad anymore? But he found it strange that he had to go into an office every day wearing a tie and a suit. But instead, he's now standing half naked. He's always topless. He's always showing off his body. And he's obviously very comfortable, or he thinks he needs to present himself that way on social media. But he's half naked in downtown Boston. In front of an office building in the financial district in Boston. I had to alter the audio because of copyright music that is on this Instagram post. But it is so strange. It is so strange what the people will do. This is just odd behavior. Why would you walk around any downtown half naked? He's wearing a hat, but he's not wearing a shirt. Saying, look, here's where I worked, in a suit and a tie. I like men in suits and tie. I think that looks really fabulous. I mean, I wouldn't want to wear that if I were a guy every single day, but I think it suits you well, gentlemen, just saying. But now he's standing here half naked in front of his former corporate office when he shields Arbonne products and the Arbonne business opportunity. I find that absolutely ridiculous. For him, this might be a step up. For me, this is a step down. Being comfortable in your body, working out, having a diet that works for you, you living a great lifestyle. I love that. Also for him. I love that for everybody who is comfortable with that. But this is just strange and extremely performative behavior that you have to show up at your former job saying, hey, this is where I worked when I had to wear clothes. Sign up with Arbonne. Am I the only one, or does anybody think this is really odd? And then there are cars driving by really slowly, probably thinking, what the heck? Downtown Boston isn't what it was decades ago. I think I can hear their thoughts. Can you too? Maybe I'm interpreting here a lot, but these are really strange posts. Strange products, strange behavior. And that is not exclusive to network marketing companies and network marketers. People do weird things on social media, granted. But anyway, I find that strange. Let me know your thoughts. Maybe you have access to really strange posts, or you remember a post that you found strange. Then let me know that as well. Feel free to post that in the comment section. This was a strange compilation, I get it, but that's Christine strange compilations. Those things keep me busy at night. So I release them now and I hope that they keep you busy. Hopefully not at night. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on further uploads. And if you liked this video, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, cheers! This was also a strange wave. I wanted to stop doing that. Choose. No more waving. No more waving. Wear a shirt.